I'm getting ready to replace the front sprocket of my 2001 Kawasaki Ninja 250, and this is a 15 tooth sprocket, and stock is a 14 tooth sprocket. And I'll roll in some clips of me determining what the different speeds are and RPMs with the old sprocket, but come to find out there is a gear ratio speed chart, and I'll roll those in here now. So that establishes the baseline of where the RPMs and different gears and different speeds are on this bike. So what I'm going to do, and there's one for this 15 tooth sprocket too. I'm also going to put a 38 tooth sprocket in the back, but what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to start with the front sprocket because it's easiest. The back sprocket, of course, you got to take the wheel off and stuff like that, so I'll do that a different day. So this involves loosening the back axle and then loosening the adjusters. I'm going to mark where the original location of the rear wheel is, and make sure that the chain tension is right. And then I'm going to take the cover off and take the sprocket off. There's quite a few videos out there on how to do it, but I think they're on newer Kawasaki 250s. So that's why I'm making this video. So here we go. Okay, first I'm going to loosen this cotter key. Okay, right there, the notch is on the almost the third line back from the front of the bike. Let's see here, just like that. So that's where I'm going to return it to. The nut is, I believe, 24 millimeters. I don't have a 24 millimeter, but a 15/16 socket will work. So you just want to loosen it and then back these out. Alright, you gotta take this off to make room to pull the panel off. I believe these are all 10 millimeter screws or bolts or whatever. So this is 10 millimeter also. So here we go. It doesn't seem like it's 10 millimeter. Oh, yeah, it is. And it's got to come all the way out. There we go. And I always put it back so I don't lose it. Long one goes up top. Long one goes in the bottom. Short one goes here. Okay, there are no more screws holding this on, but I believe it's just so gunked up in there that I'm gonna have to do a little wiggling to get it out. Alright, yeah, I just took some wiggling to get this thing off, and look at that. It's pretty nasty. Yeah, the chain is actually dragging through all the muck, so I'll definitely have to clean that out. Sprocket doesn't look too bad. There's an acorn here. So yeah, I have to clean all that out after I get the sprocket out. Okay, what I did was I had to go to the other side, put the rear brake on. It's held on by this retainer and 2 little 8mm bolts. So put the brake on, undid the bolts, took this little retainer clip out, and it should come right out. And I got the chain loose. You should be able to just slide this out like so. And then remember the little lip there, bore, goes on the inside. So here's the new one. So that bore is going to go on the inside. Some people say to grease it up, so I might do that, but let me clean this up before I put on the new sprocket. Okay, I cleaned it up. Got a little bit of grease on there, and yes, it is high temperature wheel bearing whatever grease. Just use it a little sparingly. I know there's a video that says use molybdenum disulfide. I have some. I'm just too lazy to go look for it. But yeah, don't overthink things, you know. There we go. There we go. Let's see here. I'm probably gonna have to move the tire a little bit more because the sprocket is a little bit bigger. So let me do that. Okay, I got the back tire moved forward enough to put the new sprocket in. I had to move it quite a bit, probably about, I don't know, half an inch. So, alright, so let me tap her in there, give it a good wipe, retainer back in, smack it in a little bit more. There we go. And then once I get it snug down, I have to go on the other side, put the back brake on, and tighten it down. So let me do that. Okay. Not saying you should do this. I use the old German torque, good and tight. But if you want to, you probably should consult your user manual or repair manual and find out what the actual torque specification is. But I loosened it and noticed how tight it was when I loosened it, so I just kind of did the reverse. So putting it back together is the reverse of taking it apart. There's a little locating pins or locating collars here. And I think that's what it's kind of stuck on there. And there's one down here where my finger is. So they go in that recess there, and there's a recess down here that those things go in. And this is the gear indicator, how many gears you have. So if you have a motorcycle, you know how many gears it has. There's a little information casting in there. So 1 down, 6 or 5 up. Alright. There. Yeah, it was just so full of grime that it was hard to get out. So tap tap. You'll notice I'm just putting them in hand tight. to make sure that they're threaded. You don't want to tighten just one down. You want to thread them all in, hand tighten them, and then just kind of snug each one down a little bit at a time. And being just a dust cover, I just make it snug because you don't want to strip out the transmission casing. Just like that. That's about as tight as you want it. Alright, let's put it back on there. Maybe I'll go there a little bit. If I don't like it, I can always change it. There we go. And again, this has a kind of a pressure closure on it, so you just need to get it snug. You don't have to wrench it down too tight. And that's it for that side. There's plenty of videos on how to do the back tire adjustment, so I'll just cut this video off here. So yeah, hope that helps somebody. Later.